Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and this is lesson number 45 in our dive into the wonderful world of musical theory. And unfortunately, this is the last lesson I'm going to make for this batch of lessons. Now don't worry, it's not like we finished all of music theory, far from it. There's so much else to cover: ornamentation, do different time signatures, compound time signatures, the different clefs, doublets. We haven't even scratched the surface yet. But we have come a long way, and if you've come this far, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back, because guess what, you are officially, you have my blessing to be called musically literate. I think you have the, if you've properly been diligent and you've been going through lessons, I think you have now gained the skill to read, write and understand music at a basic level, right? Of course, there's always different levels of literacy, but you can read and understand music, and that's what's important. And good job, it's been 45 lessons and you've still stuck with us, and you are doing a good job. Now let's say, I may not release some more lessons for a while, but this is indeed the last lesson for this batch. And as with most last lessons of any batches, this is going to be a case study. So far we've learned about basic pitch, then we learned about basic rhythm, then we learned about key signature and major and minor scales, then we learned about advanced rhythm, some more, not advanced technically, but some more rhythm, right? Then we learned about articulation and tempo and dynamics and everything. So now, after all that journey, here we're gonna come and try to read some music. And it's honest to goodness, this is not like me diluting some music and making it easier or anything. This is honest to goodness piano music written by Mozart, Vivaldi, and Bach. So, yeah. I'm not showing the bass clef part of it because I don't need to. So, anyways, let's get into it. So, let's have a look at our first one right here. Once again, first thing first, let's have a look at the clef. It is treble clef. Great. Now I know that the system that we're going to be using when we're talking about all the pitches. So the bottom line is E, the middle line is B, so on and so forth. We know all the stuff thanks to the fact that it's treble clef. Okay. Now next thing we're going to look at the key signature, and it's 3 sharps, which means the key signature itself is 3 sharps. And the key is, pause if you can tell me, and the answer is A major. The key is A major. Now, what they do keep in mind is that now which sharps are there? So we have F sharp, that means all the F's automatically sharp in this thing. All the C sharp means all the C's which you see in this are automatically supposed to be considered as C sharp, and G sharp, that means all the G's you might see in this are automatically considered to be G sharp. Okay? So great. Now let's have a look at the time signature. I've kind of cluttered it up with the circle, but it was visible before, and it's a 4 time signature. And I'm not only picking out the 4/4 is easy, but it's also the most common. Nearly all music is written in 4/4. That's because we have 4 counts per bar, and each count is worth a quarter note. So the total, yeah, so we're gonna count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, or in this case 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and for our convenience, because there's 8 notes, 8 notes, 8 notes, 8 notes. So it's gonna be easier for us to count with as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, before we move on, another thing to keep in mind, we've learned about dynamics. So I'm going to pause a bit and tell me which dynamic this is. The answer is forte. That means loud. So it's meant to be played loudly, and we're going to play it as such. Great. One last thing to notice before we start seeing the music, as you can see, it's quite a bit to notice, is that there is a pickup bar, and we talked about this, and this is indeed only one beat pickup bar. The pickup bars are when there is some music that comes before you start counting. So we're going to count that as 4 and then start 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. But now let's see if I can get rid of this, so to speak. So we know everything that we need to know, and we can move on. So great. Alright. Now, as with what we're supposed to do, you're supposed to, as a musician, be able to sight read this with both rhythm and pitch at the same time. But as music theory students and people who probably don't have instruments with them, first what we're going to do is we're going to write down the pitch, decipher the pitch of each of these, and then we're going to figure out the rhythm. Once again, I've said this countless times, do not write down the pitch below the notes if you're learning music and learning an instrument, because then you won't be able to read the notes themselves, you'll just be reading off the bottom. But for our purposes to prove that we know each note, we're going to do that. So I encourage you to pause the video and try to figure out the pitches of all the notes present here. So you've done that, and I'm going to go for it. So this note right here is A. I encourage you to pause the video and use all the methods that we've learned. As I said, I can sight read, so I'm just going to now write down all the notes. This is A, this is C sharp, remember key signature, this is C sharp, this is C sharp, this is B, this is A, this is E, this is E, this is D, this is C sharp, this is C sharp, this is C sharp, this is B, this is A, this is E, this is E, this is D, this is C sharp. Once again, I want you to pause the video and do this. I'm doing it fast because you don't want to waste time in the video. This is D, this is E, this is D, this is C sharp, this is B, and this is A. And this actually is here an abrupt dynamic change, as you can see, where it suddenly goes to piano, which means soft. But we won't really pay much attention to that because we're just cutting off the music about here. So I'll just try this A though. Good. Now we go on the pitches. Now the rhythm. So as I said, the way we're going to count this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and because 4 counts per bar, and also there are a bunch of eighth notes everywhere, so it's going to be easier for us to count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and by that logic. And once again, in 4/4, a quarter note is 1 count, and an eighth note is half a count. A half note is 2 counts, and a dotted half note, which is quite prevalent here, as we learned, is the same as a half note plus a quarter note, which is 3 counts. So now, keeping that in mind, we're going to count first. We're going to do this on a bar by bar basis. We're first going to count the pickup bar and the first bar. First, we're going to get the rhythm. So let's do that. So I'm going to start with 4 and then count normally because there's a pickup bar. We've talked about this before. So ready? It's going to be. So I encourage you to pause the video and tap this out, clap this out, sing it out, whatever you need to. I encourage you to pause the video and do it. I'm not in a house. I can't do it, but this is the way we can. The way you can learn over videos by pausing it and doing it as I'm telling you. Do it yourself first, and now check with me what the correct is, what the correct thing is, and now I'm going to do it. Okay, ready? I'm going to clap it out. This is going to be 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the rhythm. It's going to be tuck 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 tuck. Once again tuck 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 without me saying anything. Now let's put this together with the, and I hope you're right, and let's put this together with the pitches that I've written below. So I'll play that on the piano, and let's see what happens. Once again, and I'll count this time, 4 and 1 and 2. I'll count, sorry, I messed up, 4. I'll count this time, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and if you want, let's slow it down. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right. So that's the pickup bar plus the first bar. Second bar, once again remember a dotted minimum is the same, dotted half note is the same as a half note and a quarter note, same value, right? So that's going to be 3 counts, and by that logic the second bar is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and pause the video and do all the bars. That's what I mean. Just do all the bars, and I'm now coming back and checking with me. So once again, since it's 3 counts, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and great. So now I put that together with a pitch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah, it's not that much. Let's do it. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I'll say it once without counting. Great. Next bar. Once again, the rhythm is the same as the first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and great. Putting that together with the pitch and let's see what happens. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's in fact the exact same as the first bar. So yes, and then the fourth bar is also the exact same as the second bar. So the rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and putting this together with the pitch it is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm going to put the entire rhythm and pitch together with the first 4 bars to hear what it sounds like. Ready? Plus the pickup bar once with counting. 4, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Sorry. Once again with counting. So 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and edit this bit out once with counting. So 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and yeah. Once without counting. Once without counting. Once without counting. I'll play it once again without counting. I'll play it once again without counting, a bit faster this time. That's it. Okay, now let's do the next 2 bars that are left. Great. So it's going to be the next bar is a quarter note, 2 S notes, a quarter note, a quarter note. While the logic is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and tuck, 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 tuck. Put that together with the pitch and you get once again. Sorry, once again. Once again. Once again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and great. Last bar, it's going to be 1 and 2 and rest and 4 and I say rest and just to make sure that you know that's silent. 1 and 2 and 4 rest and 1 4 and sorry 1 and 2 and rest and 4 and great. So now putting that together with the pitch, it's going to be once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and rest and 4 and there you go. I'm going to put the entire thing together once with counting and once without counting. So 4 and I'll do slightly slower so you can hear each count. 4 and 1 and 2, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and now without counting. That's it. Now one more thing, there are some slurs in this music as well. By the way, if you do not notice by now, this is Spring by Vivaldi from his Four Seasons. And there are some slurs. So now the eighth notes, that means I'm going to play it without gap. So for example, I'm going to play with the slurs now. You will hear a subtle difference. So it's going to be so I'm connecting those notes each time. Regardless, that's all that there is. Vivaldi Spring, very famous. Great, so we all know this. Now let's move on to the next one. So once again, now this is something I'm not sure if I've told you or not, but 4/4, as I said, is an extremely common time signature. So what many of us do at times is that instead of writing 4/4, we just abbreviate it to C, meaning common time. Common time. So whenever you see a C like this, written at the beginning of a staff, like this right here, or in fact in the bottom right here, it just means 4-4. And also good to know, if you ever see a C dashed like this, sorry, if you ever see a C dashed like that down the center, this means 2-2. But regardless, so C means 4-4 because it's and it stands for common time. So in both these pieces are in common time, and this one is in 4-4. So let's do it. So once again, the key signature is not it's not like it doesn't have a key signature. The key signature is just no sharps, no flats, or C major. And the clef is the treble clef. So I know the system to use now, E with the middle and speed, everything, and that's all I really need to know for this music. There's no dynamic given in this one, but composers often do give dynamics, so I'm not sure why it's not given, but regardless. Okay, now let's see if we can play this. So first we're going to do the pitches, and then we'll do all that stuff later. So corresponding to the pitches, I encourage you to pause the video and do it here, the entire piece, just write it in like a line or whatever, or just call it out by pointing to the screen, whatever you feel comfortable with. And now I'm going to do it a bit faster. I'm just going to, like, give you the answer key essentially. So I'm seeing you pause the video and try your best, and now we're going to do it as such. So this one's C, this one's E, this one's G, this one's B, this one's C, this one's D, this one's C, this one is, the line is not very clear, this one is A, this is G, this is C, this is G, this is F, this is E, this is F, this is E, and this is O. I won't have enough proper space to write it here. I'll try my best. This is A and B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Just remember it's going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, and coming all the way down. It's going to be cluttered up, but hopefully you got it correct. Okay, same thing here. It's also going to be very cluttered. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G. This is going to be cluttered. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F. And finally E, it's going to be E, D, C, F, no, right. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, O. It's getting way cluttered. F, sorry. It's going to be D, C. This is really hard to get proper, but and then A, G, F, E. Point is just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and it's coming back down. This is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's coming back down, and this is E. So yeah, it's just all the pitches going from A to A and coming back down, and then G to G coming back down. Yeah, that's what it is. So even though it's not very clear with my writing, it is what it is. Okay, now for the rhythm. So first, going to the first 4 bars. And this one's got a slightly harder rhythm, so let's get to it. So now it's got, for the first bar I'm just gonna count with 1, 2, 3, 4 because there's no S notes or anything. So first bar I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 4, 4. So each half note is worth 2 counts, a quarter note is worth 1 count. I encourage you to pause the video and clap out all of them. And now once again I'm checking it for you, and here it is. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and sorry, I'm supposed to it's not count like that. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can just count with 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, I'll do it slightly slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Without me counting. Ta, ta, ta. Great. I put that together with the pitches, and I get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So without me counting, I might keep the tempo a bit slow so that we can still coherently play everything because there are a bunch of 16th notes everywhere. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Moving on to the next one. I'm going to use 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a because there's 16th notes. And keeping in mind that a dotted crotchet or dotted quarter note is going to be 1.5 counts, and everything else that is listed here plus the rest, we're going to count it out. So it's going to be 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a rest. And that rest is for one entire count. So it's going to be 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a rest e and a. So when I think rest e and a, I mean that entire one count is the rest. So if I just clap it out without saying anything, it's going to be, once again, put that together with the pitches. And I made that slightly faster to match the original tempo. So it's going to be 16 notes are very fast. So you play it, you get the hang of it by counting slowly, but then you speed it up yourself and then you don't count because you can't physically count that fast. Yeah. So it's going to be 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a, so I'll do that slightly faster without counting. Great. Next, move on to next bar. I'm going to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4 because there's no nothing. It's just simple. It's the same rhythm as the first bar. It's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's put that together with the pitches that are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 second. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm being a bit loosey goosey with the tempo of each bars, but when I put it all together, it will be proper. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Without me counting. Great. Next one. I want you to ignore this. And whilst ignoring that, this is going to be, let's figure out. Ooh, interesting. So remember that this is a quarter note. That sorry, that was it's a quarter note. This is an eighth note. These are 16th notes. That's another quarter note. So I'm going to use 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a to count this because 16th notes. Let's do it. Ready? 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a rest e and a. Once again, 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a rest e and a. Alright? Now let's, so without me saying anything, I put this together with the pitches. 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a rest e and a. 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a rest e and a. Now let's put this much together so far, and it's going to sound like this. Once again. So you can see this. It's quite fast. Ta-da-dun. So once again, I can count and play this entire thing once, but slightly slower because you would hear me if I counted as fast as I'm playing. So 1e and 1e and a 2e and a 3e. So I place like 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a. So as you can see, it is following the correct rhythm. And once again, without me saying anything. Great. Now let's get to the rest of it. So let's get the rhythm down. So let me clarify, these all have the same rhythm. It's 1/8 note followed by 14 16th notes. You can count them out. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 14 16th notes. So I'm going to figure out the rhythm for one of them, and that's the same for all. You can double check all these 4 bars have the same rhythm. So let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna count 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a because it's basically all 16th notes. So let's do that. I encourage you to pause the video and do it, and I'm assuming you've done that. Now you can do it together. Ready? That's gonna be 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a. Once again, 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a. Without me counting. And now with me saying it with my voice instead of clapping. Tuck 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 tuck. So once again, tuck 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 tuck. Right? Then all of them have the same rhythm. And I'm gonna put that together, put the first part together with a pitch. So it's gonna be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. Sorry, 1E and a 2E and a 3. Sorry, no. Yeah, so the first bar is going to be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a... That's going on to the second bar. Yeah. So in fact, let me play all of them together because they have the same rhythm. It's going to be tuck 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 tuck. So if I play that while counting, I'll play the entire 4 bars. Ready? The entire last 4 bars. 1 and 2, 1E, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... That's it. So, start me counting. Great, now I'm going to put both bars together, make the tempo the same because I've been counting it slow in some places, fast in some places because if I counted, for reasons. Now I'm going to make the tempo uniform and play the entire thing. Ready? So once with counting, and that's going to be slow, and once without counting, that's going to be fast. So with counting, a bit slow. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... Now without me counting and slightly more fast and coherent. So even though 16 notes are even nice, I gotta play properly, like fast. As I said, I'm not a pianist. Okay, that was I maybe this will be more recognizable. I'll play what's supposed to be there for the left hand as well. This is one of Mozart's most famous piano sonata, the opening. Yeah, that's it. So it's one of his most famous piano sonatas. Yeah, okay. That was a long one. And finally we come to this one. Great. And so yeah, piano sonata in C major. Let's write that down. I'm trying to pick famous pieces for you guys, so you might remember, you might figure out what they are while you're decoding it. C major. Am I going mad? The C goes to spirit. See, you can see. There you go. Okay, now this one. Let's go to this one. Ooh, alright, let's do the same procedure we did for the previous two. First things first, let's look at the clef, and it is bass clef. Lovely. So this is important. This is why looking at the clef is important, because now the bottom line is G, the middle line is D, the system has changed. Right, the system for naming the pitches has changed. Number 2, the key signature. It's 1 sharp, or also known as G major. Great. So 1 sharp or G major, nice. And this time signature, as I said, I already told you, C means 4/4 because C stands for common time. So it is indeed 4/4. That means there are 4 counts per bar. Each count is worth a quarter note. A quarter note is 1 count. A half note is 2 counts. A whole note is 4 counts. A eighth note is half a count. I'm going to count it as, in this case, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, because it's basically only 16 notes. And great. Now first things first, we're going to name each and every one of these pitches, just like the procedure with the last one. And I encourage you to pause the video and do it, because just watching me do it's not going to do you much good, but doing it yourself, oh, that's how you get better. So let's do it. So this one's going to be G, this one's going to be D, this is one's going to be G, this one's, oh sorry, this one is not going to be G, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be A, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be D, as I said, I can't sight read basically, so even I will take some time to do these ones. This one's going to be B, this one's going to be D, this one's going to be G, this one's going to be D, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be, this one's going to be A, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be D, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be D, this one's going to be G, this one's going to be E, this one's going to be E, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be E, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be E, this one's going to be G, this one's going to be E, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be E, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be E, this one is going to be G, this one is going to be, oh wow, yeah, I told you it's pretty hard for me. This one is going to be G, this one is going to be F sharp, remember key signature, it's going to be F sharp, this one is going to be C, I'm not wrong, yeah, F sub C, B, C, F sharp, C, F sharp. Listen to my voice, my handwriting is getting worse and worse, so it's going to be, because I have to write in such a constructed space, so it's not going to be very legible, but listen to what I'm saying, and you can check if it's correct. This one is going to be G, this one's going to be F sharp, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be B, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be F sharp, this one's going to be C, this one's going to be F sharp. Remember, key signature is very important. It's not just a marking, it also makes all the F's in this automatically F sharp. Should have mentioned this when I was talking about the key signature here, but yeah, okay, whatever. Next, so G, and then this one is also G, this one's B, this one's A, this one's B, this one is E, no, sorry, this one is G, this one's B, this one's G, this one's G, this one's G, this one's B, this one is A, this one's B, this one is G, this one's B, this is F sharp. Great. Now let's get out the rhythm. The rhythm for all these is the same. It's 16 16th notes. Oh, that's bad. It's just 16 16th notes per bar, and the rhythm is same for all of them. Great. 1 2 3 4. Lovely. So this is 16th note. This is 4 16th notes. That's a tongue twister in itself. And you count this as, if you're counting as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. That is basically means it has a uniform rhythm. It's going to be tuck 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 per bar. Now I'm not going to play this, but because I want you to hear the actual cello sound, so I'm going to edit in a cellist playing this. This is and right about now. So hopefully, as you can see, the rhythm is just tuck 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 tuck. He's just changing the pitch, so it's like because so it's all 16th notes. It's relatively slow and it's nice and beautiful. Yes, this is Bach cello number suite. Bach cello number suite. Yes, definitely. This is Bach cello suite number 1. If I'm not wrong. Cello suite 1 prelude. Now for the and this what we're doing right now is editing music, because to play music you need like a software or an instrument, right? And if you can't learn an instrument, you can still read music. So you can, as long as you can tell the rhythm and then clap it out yourself, and you can write down the pitches, that's good enough, right? From a music theory standpoint. If you're a conductor, you can hear the pitches in the head. You can immediately hear, you can see E, you can hear E in your head. That's how conductors are able to look at the orchestral score and imagine it in their heads. So reading the rhythm, anyone can. Reading the rhythm is relatively easy. You count out and read the rhythm. You can do that. And then for the pitch, for you, just write it down. That's good enough. If you play an instrument, try to put it into use in your instrument, and you will gain the ability to sight read. If you play an instrument properly, if you practice it properly, you gain the ability to sight read, which is very, very useful. That being said, wow, we're over with this extremely long lesson, and my last case study for this batch. For by this batch, I don't just mean this pillar which we've been doing the entire from lesson 1 to lesson number 45. This was one batch, and I'm probably not going to do one more for a while, but give yourself a pat on the back, because you know what, you've gained musical literacy. And if you have to place yourself on, like, grade level at this point, I'd place you around grade 2 to 3 in ABRSM theory, because I'm teaching with my own curriculum, right? So you know some things which a grade 4 student doesn't know, right? No, actually, you know some things that a grade 3 student doesn't know, and but you don't know some things that a grade 3 student does know. So if I take the average, you're around a grade 2 or grade 3 level in ABRSM theory. In case you were wondering. That being said, this is the last lesson of the batch, and I am happy that you have stayed so far. And I'm speaking about all my lessons now. Hopefully, this entire course which we've been taken has given you some value. We've learned some. It's been a long journey. 45 lessons later, you are musically literate, my friend. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah. Hopefully, you found all these lessons valuable. Hopefully, you've learned something valuable from all of them. Hopefully, you walked away from this lesson and all others knowing something new, and hopefully, you enjoyed the journey just as much as I did. That being said, my generic outro once again. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of the day, and a wonderful rest of the year. Have fun, love music. Music is amazing. Stay in touch with it. And this is me signing off for this batch of videos. Thank you so much for joining me with this journey. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Bye. See you. See you next time. Bye.